Hello everyone, welcome welcome back to my channel. I'm Em, and last week I brought you a book haul video. So this week, obviously, it is time for an unhaul video because I currently have this, and this, which isn't the end of the world, but it's a problem. I do not like having stacks of books on top of the books. It's just time to thin the herd a little bit. We're going to be primarily focusing on this nonfiction shelf because for whatever reason, I have a hard time getting rid of my nonfiction. Don't ask me why. Nonfiction is more of like an emotional issue for me. I have no problem getting rid of my fiction books most of the time, but there are some things that are on here that I just should have unhauled after I read them and I didn't, and so we're going to do it now. And we're just going to see how many books we can unhaul and how quickly I can unhaul them. So let's move over to the nonfiction shelf. I don't know if my little tripod will go up that high. Ooh. Oh, she does. Okay. Hi. All right, this is the nonfiction shelf. Everything that is up here, I pretty much gave a 4, if not a 5. Most of them are 5s. I really love nonfiction, but I don't need to keep all of them. And 2 are my husband's. So Burnt will stay because that's my husband's and he really wants me to read it. And How To will definitely stay because that's also my husband's. However, this is not a reflection of the rating I gave the book, just how likely I am to either reread it or reference it. So starting with that, Stand From the Beginning is one of those books that I really feel like I need to have on my shelf. I learned a lot in reading it. However, it is a dense sucker. I don't know if I need to keep it. I'm not fully committing to unhauling it because I feel like at some point I am probably going to want to go back and reread this. But also, like, it might be nice to put this in a little free library. Somebody else might want to read it. So I think I'm going to unhaul it. But I think this is a great book and like everyone should read it for like a more comprehensive understanding of American history. Same thing with the library book. When I first read it, I absolutely adored it. But I don't need to own a copy of it anymore. I can get rid of it. Raw Dog I'm going to keep because this is like one of my favorite nonfiction books of last year and I might reread it. On Tyranny I haven't read yet. There's Always This Year I haven't read yet. Are we okay? Yeah. Okay. A lot of chaos there all of a sudden. Democracy Awakening I'm going to keep. Ace I'm going to keep. The Facemaker I'm going to unhaul. I love Lindsay Fitzharris. The Butchering Art is one of my favorite nonfiction books. I did not love The Facemaker as much as I love The Butchering Art, and if I'm going to have a Lindsay Fitzharris book on my shelf, I want The Butchering Art, not this one. I haven't read Mean White Supremacy yet. Call Us What We Carry. Oh no. I have read and I really liked it, but I'm not a poetry lover, so I don't need to keep this either. That's my husband's. It Came From the Closet. I'm going to keep The Anxious Generation. I haven't read yet. I'm also ignoring my color coding at the moment. Burnout, I do reread. I'm going to reread this. Refusing Compulsory Sexuality, I loved, but I'm not going to reread it. If I'm going to reference a book about asexuality, it's probably going to be Ace, not this one, so I can get rid of this one. Hopefully somebody else who really wants to can read it. Read This to Get Smarter. Again, enjoyed, but I don't need to keep it. Girly Drinks I'm going to keep just because I loved it so much. Black Love Matters I'll probably keep. Disfigured I think I can get rid of. I don't think I need to keep this one any longer. I haven't read this yet. Haven't read this yet. Haven't read this yet. Read Magical Realism and again, enjoyed it. Not going to reread it, so I think I can pass it along. And then, okay, here, look, there's a lot of Disney books on there. I don't need all the Disney books. I haven't read this yet. I haven't read this yet. Skeleton Keys I've DNF'd and I keep saying I'm going to come back to, so I might. The Disneyland Story I can get rid of. Dear Centhuran I can get rid of, even though I really liked it. I gave, I don't remember what I gave this one, but it was really interesting. I gave this one 5 stars, but I'm not going to reread it, so I don't need to hold on to it. Rise and Fall of Dinosaurs I will reread. Taste I will probably reread. Virgin I haven't read yet. Disney Revolt I haven't read yet. Burnt is my husband's. And then I have another Disney documentary or Disney biography. I don't need it. Look how much room I have on my nonfiction shelf all of a sudden. That's fantastic. Also, Dad, if you're watching and you want those Disney books, let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna unhaul them. So, great progress. Oh, sorry. God, I got close. I'm so sorry. Okay. Once I just did it, that wasn't as painful as I thought it was gonna be. I thought that was gonna hurt a little bit more, but it'll be good. I don't have to hold on to every single nonfiction book I read. All right. Next, we're gonna go down to horror. I guess this is kind of turning into an unintentional bookshelf tour. I'm not gonna go through all my shelves. Is there anything I want to unhaul? My impulse is to unhaul these two. Come Out, and You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight, which are both YA horrors. This is a slasher. This is queer horror. But my oldest is starting to get into horror, and so I want to keep them so they can read them. Her Bodies and Other Parties. I'm going to double check with my husband, but I think I might unhaul this one. I just read it recently, and I liked some of the stories, and my husband's DNF'd it, but I'm not a short story reader, so I don't really see the point in me holding on to a short story collection when that's not my jam. I think that's it. Everything else on the horror shelf can stay. I'd rather expand a shelf. Expand horror to another shelf than shrink it anymore. I might, actually, I take that back. I might unhaul Mr. Magic by Kirsten White. I did really like this, but it wasn't like a favorite. Think about that. That's a TBD. We'll see. All right, next up, I know this one I eyeballed early. I am going to get rid of The Trail of Lightning by Rebecca Roanhorse, even though I really, really like this. She's not continuing the series. Like, this trilogy is never going to get finished, I don't think. If it is, it's not going to be for a while, and I didn't love this as much as I love Between Earth and Sky. The Black Sun series, whatever that series name is. I didn't love this the way I loved that. And even if she did finish the trilogy, I don't know if I would want to finish the trilogy, so I don't need to hold on to this. All right, I'm not going to tour the fantasy shelves. I'm just going to scan real quick. Okay, I think that's good for this side. We're going to move over to the middle. And up on the top is romance slash fantasy-ish romance. Actually, I feel good about that top row. I don't really want to get rid of anything up here that I've read, because everything that up here that I've read I really, really enjoyed. And there's quite a few series up here that I will continue in. Like, I definitely want to continue in The Lord of Starial. I haven't read Shades of Milk and Honey yet. This G.A. Aiken fantasy romance series, paranormal romance series, I really love. I'm just waiting for her to publish more. I love Olivia Atwater. I love Sarah Wallace. Let's see if I ever get around to Strange and Stubborn Endurance. And then I haven't read this one yet. I want to continue in the Foxglove King series. I am actively reading the sequel to Spark of the Everflame right now. Stolen by the Wolves. I'll continue at some point. Like, you get the idea. Like, I might get rid of The Charm Offensive by Alison Cochrane, just because I don't really read contemporary romance. And I went to an author event for them last summer or the summer before, and I felt like I needed to buy a book to justify going. But I don't like reality TV in books or in real life, and I don't really read contemporary romance, hardly ever, and it seems silly to be holding on to this. Plus, I have the audiobook on Libro FM, I think, if I ever want to try it, so I think I'm just gonna unhaul it. All right, same thing now. I'm just gonna scan through and see if there's anything else that I want to get rid of it's mostly fantasy and sci-fi from like here down. So I can put the Malka Older book in, I think. Just tuck it here for now. Okay, I think I'm going to get rid of 2 books on this shelf. I think I'm going to get rid of Light from Uncommon Stars. Not that I didn't absolutely love it, because I did, but I'm not going to reread it. I'm pretty sure. I've never felt like, I will reread it, but I think it would be really fun for somebody else to read it. And then the other one I think I'm going to get rid of is We Are Satellites. I had a friend pass this along to me like during COVID, like during lockdown of COVID, so it's been a while. But I've only heard that this one is real sad, and I do not want to read sad sci-fi. It's even come up in my TBR jar once so far this year, and I 100% did not read it. I didn't even try to read it, and I just don't think this is something I'm interested in consuming any longer. And then the other books from this shelf I'm going to get rid of is the I Want to Be a Wall manga series. This is a completed manga series that I read that I really liked. It is a marriage of convenience between a gay man and an asexual woman, and I really liked it. And it was great. Highly recommend it, but I'm not going to reread it because I don't read manga really unless it's Witch Hat Atelier. So I think I can pass these along and somebody else can get them. All right, let's move over. We got one more shelf. Okay, I can already tell you that up on this tippy top shelf, the book that I would get rid of from here is The Maleficent 7, but this is actually my TBR jar book for this month, so I'm going to wait and at least attempt it before probably unhauling it at the end of the month, depending on how that experience goes. Obviously, all the Tea Kingfisher is staying. I wonder if I should get rid of these Jen Williams books, Ninth Reign and Bitter Twins. I didn't love the Ninth Reign. I gave it like a 3.5. And I haven't felt any desires to pick up the Bitter Twins, but this is on my book series bingo board, so I'll probably hold on to it for a little bit longer. I think I can get rid of these two. Actually, these three. Oh, it's a big chunk. Here and Only Here by Christelle Dabois, I read last year. Let me lower you a little bit. And it was weird. It was weird. This is my friend Isabel. This is one of her favorite authors, and I bought it when I was at Barnes & Noble with her, which was like 5 million years ago. It was fine, but it was weird. And then The Inheritance of Orchidea Divina, I'd read it before, and then I grabbed this out of a little free library, but I hate Book of the Month covers and like editions. I just think they're so cheaply made, and if I'm going to have a finished copy of this book, I would rather have the official copy, not a Book of the Month copy. And then, this is going to go again. I did finally read some Desperate Glory. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to, but not enough to justify keeping it on my shelves, and I can just unhaul this Illumicrate edition. All right, and then moving down. All right, the Anne Lucky are my husband's. N.K. Jemisin, I will never get rid of. Fit for the Gods, I am going to try and read this year. It's a short story collection. It's my last unread short story collection on my shelves, because I bought them before I knew I didn't like short story collections. And then P. Lee Clark's not going anywhere either. Now we're getting down to some classics, but all the sci-fi staying. Who am I kidding? Obviously, Nino Chipri staying. Becky Chambers is staying. I haven't read this one yet. Obviously, Tamsin Muir is staying because she's one of my favorite authors. And then my classics. I don't know that I need to keep James or Trust. Again, these are, you can't even see them. These are literary fiction titles that I end up loving a lot or liking a lot more than I thought I was going to. But again, I don't think I'm going to reread them, so I don't need to keep them. That is how that works. Yes. And then I have my cozy historical mystery series, and from here I think I'm going to get rid of everyone who in my family has killed someone. I liked it. I didn't love it. I think I kept it so my mom could borrow it, but she has since done that, and I don't need to keep it. And then I have room for the new Jennifer Ashley book that's going to be coming out at the end of the summer. Lady Sherlock stays. I only have the first Deanna Rayborn. I've actually, or the first Veronica Speedwell. I've actually DNF'd the Veronica Speedwell series. I'm not going to be finishing it, but I really love the first one, and I've reread it a few times. And then I'm working on the Anna Lee Huber series right now. And then I think I'm going to get rid of Mary Barton by Elizabeth Gaskell. I didn't like this one. I gave it like 2.5 stars. I could probably get rid of actually a lot of these classics because I'm not going to reread them. I don't think I'm going to reread Middlemarch. I talked myself into wanting to reread it a while ago, but I think that is a lie. Pillow Book, I've already read. I will not reread it. It was very interesting though. Like, I recommend it if you want a classic from a non-Western author. I forget what this was originally published in. Japanese. This was very interesting. I really enjoyed my reading experience, but again, I'm not going to reread it. Same with George Eliot with Middlemarch. I'm glad I read this chunker of a book. I love this cover. I'm not going to reread it. And then Macbeth I'll keep. Elizabeth Spencer I'll keep because I'll probably reread The Light in the Piazza at some point. And I haven't read Legend of... Oh, I'm going to be reading Legends of Sleepy Hollow in October. And then Wives and Daughters is my Elizabeth Gaskell book for this month. And then my beloved Margaret Rogerson. And then the last shelf is middle grade. And I've already culled... Can I get you that low? No, I can't. And the middle grade is down there. I've already culled my middle grade collection pretty extensively, so I don't feel like I need to do it again. All right, so that was a fast and furious unhaul moment. Let's count and see how many books I managed to unhaul in 15 minutes. So that was 28 books that we unhauled, which I feel pretty good about. It's over half of the books that I recently hauled, which is not a bad ratio. So now I'm gonna back you up, and we're gonna time lapse fixing the shelves because I have to put the nonfiction was in rainbow order, so I gotta tidy real quick. So let's tidy real quick. And there you have it. All right, friends, thank you for joining me on this fast and furious unhaul journey. If you would like to leave a comment, I would love to know which book you most recently unhauled. If you'd just like to leave an emoji to let me know you were here, let's do the trash can emoji. And otherwise, like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Bye!